project is Environmental Justice Foundation. Can we have someone?
Hi everybody. It was so hard to follow, that was incredibly moving. I'm going to be really snappy about this because I wish I wasn't the one who had to present it, because Steve Trent from EJF is the complete star. So I'm going to tear through this to maximise the question time, because he's the one who can answer you. But at the same time, I do feel hugely honoured about being asked to present the Environmental Justice Foundation appeal for more money. And somebody said, make it snappy, get to the point, we're looking for both 6,000 quid. So, EJF works to protect the natural environment and defend human rights. They have a small, hard-working team that punches well above their weight, bringing attention to issues that otherwise go under the radar. They've made an impact in many parts of the world, but I want to tell you about their work in West Africa, the region hardest hit by illegal pirate fishing, and where industrial bottom trawlers from China, Korea, and other industrialized nations take advantage of rich marine resources, depleting fish stocks for local populations, and damaging vulnerable populations of sharks, turtles, and dolphins. EJF investigations show that many of these industrial fishing vessels are literally out of control. Many are the equivalent of modern-day pirates, and some are crewed by slaves. EJF has tracked down these vessels, it's boarded them, and it's exposed the illegal activities they engage in. These include fishing without licenses and inside areas set aside for local fishermen, attacking local fishers and refusing to pay fines, covering their identification markings, using banned fishing equipment, fleeing to neighbouring countries to avoid sanctions, and engaging in human trafficking and committing a litany of other labour violations. Starting in Sierra Leone, EJF set to work to help put an end to this. One of the hardest hit countries in the region by pirate fishing, it had devastating effects on a country just coming out of a civil war, costing its people $29 million a year. Illegal fishing also severely strained food security in a country where 64% of animal protein comes from fish, and 70% of the people are below the poverty line. Thanks very much to the funding network, EJF bought a motorboat for the remote island of Bonte in the far south of the country to aid the local communities and document pirate fishing. The proof of the pudding is there's now very little pirate fishing in coastal areas. In the 2 years prior to the arrival of EJF's boat, funded by you guys, there were 252 sightings of illegal fishing trawlers. In the 15 months after the boat arrived, from January 2012 to March 2013, there were no sightings of these destructive fishing boats. Thank you very much. I'm going to run through this bit, because you've got to ask Steve the questions. So that is actually amazing. I mean, I think it's a triumph, actually. The boat's operations resulted in 5 pirate vessels being arrested by the Sierra Leone government, and more fled the country. As a result, marine biodiversity is better protected, fishermen have much better access to their resources, benefiting both food security and livelihoods. Evidence from the boat in Sierra Leone also resulted in strong international action from the European Commission, which Steve will tell you about in a minute when I get off this, as well as the Spanish and Korean governments. Even better, following the success of the community surveillance pilot project, the government of Sierra Leone secured its own patrol craft, which operates in the north of the country without the help of an outside charity. EJF's boat continues to patrol southern Sierra Leone, acting as an important deterrent to any return of illegal fishing. Now EJF wants to replicate success in neighbouring Liberia, a country that shares much of Sierra Leone's tragic recent past and vulnerability to pirate fishing. Since the start of 2012, EJF's local Liberian staff have been documenting levels of illegal fishing and building links with local communities. They've also developed a close relationship with the government and is ready to act on evidence produced through community surveillance. The phone again. A boat in northern Liberia will enable EGF's local team to respond to call-outs from coastal communities who have noticed foreign vessels illegally fishing. With increased at-sea access, they'll be able to respond quickly to call-outs in order to photograph and document illegal activities and provide information to national and international authorities to enable prosecutions, which Steve will tell you about in a second. Crucially, a new boat in Liberia will help protect marine resources, including vulnerable shark and turtle populations, in turn by Stephen Bridges come up here now. Greater food security and livelihood opportunities for local populations. EGF are extremely cost effective, and they really are. It's one of my favourite NGOs. And I want to tell you how your money will be spent. £100 will allow EGF boat to respond to the report of a trawler from any local fisherman. £250 will cover a 4 days patrol, and if we can raise £6,000 tonight, that will cover the annual cost of running the boat. This is a fantastic opportunity for the funding network to build on its previous success, supporting EJF. Hint, hint. What you helped do in Sierra Leone, you can now do in Liberia. None of you can say that. Steve, Trent from EJF welcome you to answer questions.